Okay, so we are talking about this seventh canto, Prahlad, Narasimha, Hiranyakashipu. There are three major characters, and how the whole discussion triggers in is there is a question that is Lord partial. So basically, Yudhishthira Maharaj is talking to Narad Muni in the Rajasuya Yagya. That looks like Lord is partial. Wherein what we hear in Bhagavad Gita is Krishna says, Samo aham sarvbhuteshu, na deshosti na me priyaha. That I'm equal to everyone. I doesn't hate anyone or I doesn't favor anyone. That is a Lord's characteristic. But then Yudhishthira Maharaj is quite confused. He said, like, looks like Lord is partial because seems like he always favor the demigods, the devatas, wherein he always kills the demons. So looks like he is partial. So when this question comes, so then there is a discussion between Narad Muni and then the Yudhishthira Maharaj. So what happens in Rajasuya Yagya? Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was about to become, he was the king. He was about to sit on the throne. And then before that, Krishna actually killed the Shishupal in the assembly. And the whole assembly saw that Krishna released the Sudarshan Chakra and then Shishupal was killed. So why he was killed? And there is a reason, actually, there is a history behind. So that history explains. So we'll be taking few lessons here. So lesson number one is sometime when we are perplexed about, oh, looks like God is partial, something is not right. So it becomes very difficult to determine that what is the reality, what is the truth. So when we are perplexed, when we are confused, then we need to go to the Guru, the bona fide Guru. So life's question need answers from a Guru. Sometimes, people try to speculate. I think it might be like that. Maybe God is partial or God is not partial. We cannot determine. We should go to a bona fide Guru and Guru will tell actually. So that is what exactly is happening here. That Yudhishthir Maharaj, he has this question and he asked Narad Muni, God is partial? And then he says no. If God was partial, then how come Lord Krishna delivered Shishupal? Shishupal was always very, very envious to Krishna. So his history is, as soon as the Shishupal was born, there was a there was a prediction, there was an aerial voice, and he was born with very awkward situation. He was having four hands, and he looked very ugly. So then everybody was concerned, what kind of child is born? And then there was an aerial voice that his two extra hands will disappear in the presence of a person who in the future will kill this boy. So they are wondering that who is that person who will kill him. So there is a reason for little happiness, that is awkward situation will disappear. But at the same time, there's a lot of concern that who will that person will kill. So one time when Krishna along with his mother, when they visited, and when Krishna saw Shishupal, as soon as Krishna came in the presence of Krishna, both his hands disappeared. So everybody, it was very vividly clear, visible to everyone that Krishna will be the one who will kill him. So because of that, the Shishupal became very, very envious to Krishna from the very beginning of his life. And then Shishupal's mother actually requested Krishna that please don't kill my son. He says, okay, I'll never kill. But my condition is, I know that he will be always criticizing me, condemning me, and abusing me. I will tolerate also all his abusive words, but my condition is I can only tolerate 100 abusive words. If he cross any time 100 abuses, then I'll be forced to kill him. So that was the condition between Krishna and Shishupal. Now the Shishupal was also very, very systematic in his, criticism. So whenever there is a chance, he will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 99 and will stop. Because he remember, there is a condition. If I cross 100 and Krishna, he already said something, and when he said something, he is powerful enough to kill me. So he remember. But one time in this Rajasuya Yagya, what happened was he becomes too overwhelmed by his envious nature. So that is the nature of all these negative emotions. Though you are warned clearly that you should not cross the limit, but sometimes you are so overpowered by those emotions, negative emotions, he couldn't control his emotions. Started abusing Krishna, and then he forgot the count. and he crossed 100. And in front of everyone in the whole assembly, Krishna released the Sudarshan Chakra and then he killed Shishupal. So now this Narad Muni is explaining if Lord was partial, then what happened when Shishupal was killed? Then everyone in the assembly saw that his soul came out from his body and merged into Krishna. And everybody understood that Shishupal got deliverance. He got delivered. So now Narad Muni is quoting, if Krishna was partial, then how he will deliver Shishupal, who has been always condemning, criticizing him, abusing him. He has been always very, very envious. Even to that person also, Krishna actually delivered. Then you cannot claim that Krishna or Supreme Lord is partial. He is never partial. He is always equal to everyone. He can deliver even such an envious person like Shishupal. And then he quotes this particular verse in this chapter. So it explains that Gopya kamat bhayat kamso dvesha chaya dayonapaha sambandha vrishna snehad yuyam bhaktya vayam biho. It's a very important verse, wherein this verse explains that anyone can be delivered provided one is in absorption. If one is always thinking about Krishna, no matter how he's thinking, but if there is an absorption of consciousness in Krishna, that person can be delivered. That is what is the nature and characteristic of Krishna. So he doesn't really discriminate between who is the person, how is thinking, favorable or unfavorable. Even somebody is thinking of Krishna unfavorably, like Seshupal. He is envious. But out of envy, he is always thinking of Krishna. Krishna delivered. And there's many examples are given here. It says Gopiyat Kama. All the gopis, they're thinking of Krishna out of lust. Because Krishna is a young boy, gopis are young girl. When they see the beautiful form of Krishna, they get enchanted, attracted by Krishna's beauty. And out of lust, they try to approach Krishna. But when they go close to Krishna, they get purified. And their lust turn into the love. Right? But their absorption is out of the lust. So the gopis, they are wonderful, great devotees. I'm just muting some people. Okay. And then another example is, who's the other example? Kamsa. He's always thinking of Krishna, but out of fear. Not that he is a great devotee of Krishna, but because he heard the voice, right, from the sky, that the eighth son of Devki will kill you. So he was always thinking about Krishna. So, but later we know that how Kamsa also got delivered. Though he was thinking of Krishna out of fear, not out of love. Sishupal out of envy is thinking. And then Yadus, they're thinking of Krishna out of their family relationship, out of affection, the Pandavas. And then the devotees, Narad Muni, like devotees, they are in devotional service, devotional relationship. So they are always thinking. So the point is, the nature of the characteristic of God is that anyone who is absorbed in thinking of God can be delivered. That is the nature of God. The only thing is people sometimes doesn't know that who is God. One time there was this one person in the early days of ISKCON, and Prabhupada was sitting, and this person comes, and then he saw the picture of Krishna, very attractive, blue-bodied. He never saw that picture, Western person. And then he says, is this person is your God? He asked Prabhupada. So he asked, is he your God? Prabhupada says, no, he is your God also. The only thing is you don't know. So sometimes people doesn't know that who is the God, what is the nature of God. But here from these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, we understand the nature of God is that he will deliver everyone without any discrimination. Anyone who thinks of Krishna, who chants Krishna's name, Krishna is ready to deliver. So that was the question. That is how it begins. So now Narad Muni explains about the Sishupal, and then he was quite curious that who is this Sishupal? And then he explained that Sishupal is actually, there is a history behind Sishupal is that Jaya and Vijaya in the Vaikuntha world, and they were cursed by the four Kumaras. And out of that curse, they fell down from the Vaikuntha to this Mrityuloka. And then they had to take the three birds. They had to become Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha in one life. And the next birth, they had to become Ravana and Kumbhakaran. And in the third life, they had to become Sishupal and Dantavakra. So like that, the whole discussion begins. So you see here, now he mentioned about Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. And then he says, this Hiranyakashipu actually was such a demonic person that he attempted to kill his own son. And then that triggered, it intrigued. Yudhishthira is asking that generally that it is found that relationship between the father and a son is very affectionate relationship. Sometimes father chastise the son if they do some mistake or something like that, but not to the extent that the father is actually trying to kill the son. So what causes that father, that what triggered that he became so inimical to his own son that he was killing him, he was attempting to kill him. So that is when the whole discussion begins actually. So the Hiranyakashipu's story. So the Hiranyakashipu is a great demon, and it has been explained about him. So one thing here we should understand very carefully, that Krishna is showing us that when he killed Shishupal, right, and we are understanding this section, that anyone who thinks about Krishna, absorbed about Krishna, trying to do anything for Krishna for whatever intentions. There is another example is given, that of the Putna, right? How the Putna was also another great demoness. And Putna, with the intention and action of killing Krishna, came to Krishna. Not any other intention, but only intention of how would I kill Krishna, right? And Putna came, and then we know that how Krishna delivered even Putna also. So actually, through all these examples, Krishna is giving us a wonderful, lesson that you can make the choice. What do you want in your life? You want to make the relationship, the perfect relationship of people in this world, the objects in this world, the circumstances in this world. Everyone in this world is trying hard for perfection, perfect relations, perfect situations, perfect everything, right? That is one choice. Another choice is a relationship with me. It may not be perfect, like the Putana. She was not in a perfect relationship. She came with the intention of killing Krishna. Though that relationship was very imperfect, but still Krishna actually delivered. So Krishna is actually giving us the choice. You want the perfect relationship with the people, with the things, or with the situation of this world, or you want imperfect relationship with me? Choice is yours. If you are in relationship with me, though it is imperfect, still you are benefited. You get the deliverance. Right. So here, that is what we are seeing, that Putna attempted to kill Krishna, but Putna was delivered. Shishupal was envious, and then Shishupal was also delivered. So that is the relationship that one can have with Krishna. And of course, scripture says that Anukulena Krishnanu Silinam. So it says one can have the relationship with Krishna. Ideally, it should be Anukul. It should be favorable. But in case if it is not favorable, still you are not at loss. You will still be benefited, because your relationship with Krishna is very important. Krishna will purify. Okay. So here we talk about this Hiranyakashipu. So what happens? This Hiranyakashipu was a great demon, very, very powerful demon, a great Asura. Now, who is Asura? Has been explained that Asura means one who is, says, Asura mante iti Asura. Asu means breath. One who is striving hard to maintain his breath, means striving hard to maintain his life. That nothing should happen to me, should always be enjoying. So that kind of attempt, one who strive hard, work hard to maintain that is Asura. Also, there is actually another meaning of Asura, that Asu means very soon, very quick, and Ra means Ramante. Ramante means to enjoy. One who try to always enjoy quickly by some shortcuts. If it takes to trouble others, to torture others, to kill others to the extent, that person is called Asura. So Hiranyakashipu here has been explained as a great Asura, very, very powerful demon, right? And then what happens? Uh, the background of the story is that Hiranyakashipu's brother Hiranyaksha was killed by Varahadev, another incarnation of Lord Vishnu. And then Hiranyakashipu was furious that my brother is killed by this Vishnu. So I had to take the revenge. So he was furious. He came out, and then first of all, when his brother was killed, so there was a commotion in the family. The Hiranyaksha's wife and the mother, they're all crying, they're lamenting. Now Hiranyakashipu comes in the picture, and then he gathered all the family members, and then he started pacifying all of them. And then he speaks the big philosophy. He says that you should not lament for this Hiranyaksha. He was a great, powerful, noble soul. He's talking like that. Right. He was furious. He was angry because his brother was killed by Vishnu. There was no count that how many people he had killed. There was no count. That is the demonic mentality. That what torture they have incurred on so many people, there's no count. But something happens to them, immediately they become furious. Now he came and he trying to pacify his family members, saying that don't worry, he was a brave personality and he was a very noble soul, and one should not lament. Uh, this family relations, the life in this world is like, he was giving the analogies. He's saying, like when somebody goes in a restaurant and you see that a lot of people sitting around the tables and they all come together, they eat together, and after a while they all disperse. The family relations are like that. For the time being, we all come together, and after a while we all disperse for never to meet again. So one should not lament for such temporary relations. And like that, he's giving a lot of philosophies. He's saying that family relations, is like when you see a wave in the sea, in the ocean. With one wave, the lot of straws comes together and they make a bunch. And with the next wave, they all disperse again, never to meet again in life. Right? So the family is like that. For the time being, all of us, husband, wife, kids, mother, father, we all come together, stay together for some time, and with the next wave of the Kala, we all disperse. So that is how the family relations are like that. So it's talking all this big, big philosophy that we are not the body, we are the soul. So like that, if somebody doesn't know the background of who is speaking this, and you take all those verses, standalone verse, then looks like as if Krishna himself is talking. He's talking all this big philosophy, though he's a demon. So the lesson number two that what we learned today is talking philosophy is very easy. Anybody can talk big, big philosophy. People give big, big lectures, right? You read some books, memorize some verses, and you give big philosophy, big lecture, and people will clap. You say, wow, mesmerizing. What a lecture he has given. But philosophy is not only meant for this knowledge of the scriptures, is not meant for information. It is meant for transformation. So just for information, we are not the body, we are the soul, Krishna is God, material world, spiritual world, all those things. You read just books few days, you will be able to give all this lectures, information. But the purpose of this knowledge is transformation, right? So philosophy without the transformation, without the change of character is useless. If we are reading Bhagavad Gita, we are attending some sessions and going to temple, practicing something. And despite all of that, if our character is not changing, right, there's no transformation in your personality, then we should understand that everything is all on the level of some information gathering. There's no real transformation is coming. And that is the whole purpose of this knowledge. So that is the lesson number two that we should remember always. Right. So when people read all of this, then we should remember that why we are reading this. So after giving this philosophy, now you see the Hiranyakashipu's character. He's talking all big, big philosophies. And after pacifying them, he's saying, please do not lament. He was a great soul, brave soul, very noble. And then he comes out and he called all his demonic associates. And then he gave them the instructions. What is the instruction? Says now he was furious because his brother was killed. Says, go and find the places where there are cows, where there are brahmanas, and where there are study of the scriptures. Go and find all these three places and destroy all these places. So you see his character now. He was giving all big, big philosophy. Character is just opposite to what he's talking. Because the scriptures explains wherever there is a cow worship or serving the cows, wherever there is brahmanas who are engaged in all kinds of spiritual activities for the welfare of the entire humanity, and where there is a study of the scriptures, that creates a perfect ecosystem for everyone to survive in this society very happily. So the demon's job is only destroy all these three items. Then people cannot be happy. And then only demons will be able to, overpower. They will rule because there's no ecosystem. So he ordered them that go and destroy all these places. So it is very, very important. One time, this one person came to meet Srila Prabhupada. And when he saw Prabhupada, and he was fascinated by seeing that Prabhupada was surrounded by a lot of American disciples, American young boys and girls. And then, they're talking. And then Prabhupada asked, he was actually an archaeologist. So Prabhupada asked that, what do you do? He says, I'm an archaeologist. So Prabhupada asked him that, what it means, like, what is an archaeologist? He says, actually, I study in the primitive people, the ancient people, and use the word primitive people. And then he asked Prabhupada that, what about you? Because Prabhupada looked a little strange, different dress, different people. And Prabhupada says, I study the advanced people. Who are these advanced people? They are in the scriptures, all Raj Rishis. The great kings like Yudhishthir Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, they're all very advanced people. Though they are the kings, but they are Raj Rishis. They are the Raja. They're the kings. But their life, you see their life like the saintly person because they maintain the perfect ecosystem to make the entire society into happy society. So here, this demon, Hiranyakashipu, he ordered that go and then destroy all these places. And these demons, they're very excited about such orders. They wait for such opportunities. That whenever there is any opportunity to create the disturbance, destructions, they love that. They can't do any creation. They're only interested in destructions, annihilation. So immediately they are very, very excited and they go and they started destroying everything. Right. And parallelly, this Hiranyakashipu, what he did was said that I had to take the revenge against this Vishnu. But I heard that this Vishnu is very, very powerful. Though this Hiranyakashipu was also very powerful, then he thought I should maybe accumulate a little more power so that I can defeat this Vishnu. So then he decided to go for some austerities. And then he started performing very severe austerities, which in this modern age, people like us, we cannot even conceive of those. We cannot even comprehend, fathom that somebody can perform this kind of austerity. He was practically standing on one leg for many, many thousands of years without eating, without drinking. And then his entire body was covered by the lot of insects. And then insects started eating up his body, his skin, his flesh. He became literally like a skeleton. And that is the kind of severe austerity he was doing. And the point is that he is doing austerity, but what is his intention behind the austerity? That determine the person, because you'll see the saintly people also, the rishis, the sadhus, they also do a lot of austerities. And here is a demon. He is also doing a very severe austerity. And the point is what determines who is a sadhu and who is a demon, their intentions. So he is also doing the austerity. Especially you see in this modern age also, people are working hard, very austere, great scientist, working 18 hours, 20 hours sometimes, right? Not even sleeping, not even eating. But then what is their intention? Intention is how to lord over. I want to become number one. I want to become the most powerful so that I can manipulate the people. I can manipulate the things. And that is the intention. Then that austerity is considered the austerity of a demon. They might be looking very polished, very educated, sophisticated people. And that is how the demons are not what we see like big horns and big teeth or something, laughing loud. The demons are looks like one among us. Demons are not like differently designed people. Krishna explains in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, divine and demonic nature. You can read the description, who is a demon. So he might be looking like a wonderful personality, very attractive, very charming, very beautiful, very handsome. But if you see his mentality, that will decide whether that person is a genuine person or is a demonic person. So demons also looks like us. They're not different. So with their intention, we can understand who's a demon. So here we understand the intention of the Hiranyakashipu. He goes for the austerity, and then he, by severe austerity, he pleased Brahmaji, and Brahmaji was pleased. Brahmaji appeared there, and then he asked that, my dear son, I'm pleased with your austerity. Please give up these austerities and ask the benediction. What is the benediction that you want? Why are you performing these severe austerities? So then, what Hiranyakashipu did, as soon as he saw Brahmaji, immediately fell at the feet of Brahmaji, as if he is a very humble, very submissive person. And then he became so overwhelmed by seeing the darshan of Brahmaji, and then he started crying. There were tears out of humility and all of that. And then he's saying that, my dear Lord Brahmaji, you are one among the great benedictors. You give great benediction to everyone. So if you so desire to give me some benediction, then my only desire is this. And here is at the end, after glorifying Brahmaji, showing all this humility, at the end, he let the cat out of the bag. Says, okay, this is what I want. What he's saying, Nantar Bahir Divanaktam, Anyasmad Vichayuday, Na Bhumau, Na Ambare Mrityur, Na Narai, Na Mrigayarapi. So he says, grant me that I not die within any residence or outside any residence. Nantar Bahir, nor inside nor outside. Okay, Divanaktam, nor in the day nor in the night. Should not die, either in the daytime or in the nighttime. Inside the house, outside the house. Anyasmad abhichayudai. And I should not be killed even by any astra or shastra. Right? Na bhumau, na ambare mrityur. Nor on the earth, bhumi, na ambare, nor in the sky. So he used all his intelligence, very intelligent. So he used all his permutation combination, that how I should not die. I should remain immortal. These are all demonic mentality. Right? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, and that one who has taken birth, he has to die. That is the law of nature. But the demons, they try to supersede. They try to violate the laws of nature using their intelligence. And he's trying to trick Brahmaji that I should not be killed in the daytime, in the nighttime, inside, outside, nor on the land, nor in the sky, nor by the living or dead, nor by astra or shastra. And he thought there's nothing left. Who can kill? But the problem with the demons is they think that they are very smart, they're very intelligent, but they miss out to understand the Lord is always smarter than you. Right? No matter that how smart a demon is, Lord can still figure out the way that keeping all the benediction intact, still he can come in a form and he can kill the demon. That we'll see in the as we move forward. So here you see that he has this benediction. So the problem is he wanted to become the eternal, that I should never die. Now in the Bhagavad Gita we understand soul is eternal. Soul na jayate mriyate va kadachin. Soul never takes birth, never dies. Soul is ajo nityam shashvato yam purano. Soul is eternal. And then this Hiranyakashipu is also trying to be eternal. But there is a little mistake. Soul is eternal out of this body. This Hiranyakashipu is trying to eternal in the body. Small mistake, major repercussions. Demons won't understand that little small mistake, what and all they have to face. So in this modern age also, see that people are trying hard. There was some scientist few years back. They did a lot of research and they wrote the book. And they named the book The Death of Death. Very catchy. Death of Death. And then they came on a platform and giving a lecture, and they're saying, probably we'll be the last generation to die. We crack the code, after this generation, nobody will die. Death of death. These are all demonic mentalities. It's not possible. Because people won't read the scriptures, they just imagine, they speculate something, and we can figure out that how will not die. Same thing is Hiranyakashipu is doing here, using his intelligence. And he did a lot of hard work, a lot of austerity, and he has all the benediction. He thought that, okay, now I cannot be killed by anyone. Nobody can kill me. So that was his So we discussed about that. And then Hiranyakashipu, by the dint of his austerity, he became so powerful. Now look at his powers. Then all the 330 million demigods, what we call 33 crore devata, everybody was controlled by him. All the 330 million demigods. And he was beyond and above all the demigods. And he engaged all the demigods as like their domestic servants. Hence, if you go in the kitchen of Hiranyakashipu, some of the demigods might be chopping the vegetables, washing the vessels. He became that powerful. He literally controlled all the devatas like that. Surya, Chandra, Varuna, Indra Devata, Vayu Devata, everyone was on his back and call. If he it is like, we can control the temperature here sitting, AC. If Hiranyakashipu want to control the temperature, he'll just move his eyebrows, look at the sun, and he'll set the temperature as he want. That was his power, right? We can't even imagine these kind of powers, but he became that powerful. He want the rains. He just look at Indra, there will be rain. And he wants something to grow from the earth, no matter whether it is season of that particular item or not. When he desires, earth has to produce that particular item. So that became his power. Practically, he became like supreme controller. Looks like he was a supreme controller. So that was his power. Now, this is very, very interesting to note, and that is the third lesson for the day. Though he became so powerful, such a great control that he gained, but actually Hiranyakashipu's experience has been described in the Bhagavatam. See, anybody listens, all his description, that he became such a powerful controller, whatever he want. Just by his desire, he will get all that. And that is what is the definition of success. If you ask someone, what is success? Success means whatever you want, you should be able to achieve that. That is success. This is the modern idea of success, right? But despite getting everything, attaining all the control, what is his experience? That has been explained here. See this. Saitam nirjitukako ekarada vishayan priyan yatopajosam bhunjano natrapyed ajitendriyaha. Spite of achieving the power to control in all directions, spite of enjoying all types of dear sense gratification as much as possible, Hiranyakashipu was dissatisfied because instead of controlling his senses, he remained their servant. Now, this is a very revealing concept that we all should pay attention. People think that if I can do whatever I want in my life, that is considered success. People will glorify, oh wow, such a great person. You got everything what you wanted in your life. All your dream came true. And that is what exactly the Hiranyakashipu situation is. But his experience is Natrapyed Ajitendriya. He is still not satisfied. Despite getting all the power, all the possessions, all the control, he is not happy and satisfied. Why? Reason has been explained is Ajitendriya. Because though he gained the control over everything in the world, but what he missed is no control over his own senses, uncontrolled senses. So the person who has everything in the world but uncontrolled senses, that person remains the slave of his own senses. He can never be happy. So that is what is the great lesson that we should learn, that uncontrolled senses result in dissatisfaction, right? So our heart is filled with a lot of desires and everybody is working hard. So what is success? Success is not about getting all your desires fulfilled, but actually our scriptures teaches us success is if you have the power to control even just one desire. If you can control one desire, then you should consider that you are a successful person. Because uncontrolled senses, when the urges comes, forget everything. And you want to, by hook and crook, you want to achieve something. Right? And that is how we see that people, there was this person, he met Srila Prabhupada, and he was having the habit of smoking cigarette. And then he said, the Swami somehow, most of the things that you say that I try to follow, but I'm not able to give up my habit of smoking cigarettes. And then he says, looks like Krishna only has to intervene in my life for me to give up this habit of smoking. Then Prabhupada, he says, he quotes one verse from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says that Harishye tad yashyaham anugranami harishye tad dhanam shanai. And Krishna says, when I favor someone very specifically, when I show my favor, then as my favor, I take away everything from that person. And then Prabhupada quote this verse, says that you are saying that you need sorry. Prabhupada was saying that you are saying that you need Krishna's intervention. But do you understand what it means, Krishna's intervention? Sorry, I have a bad throat. So he says when Krishna shows the favor, then he takes away everything from their life, all their possessions, all their power, everything. And that person becomes literally like the beggar in the street. That is Krishna's special favor. So do you think that you need Krishna's favor? Then that person says, no, Swamiji, it looks like I myself will give the smoking. The point is, uncontrolled senses, not easy to give up. The habits. People understand. You see that how those who smoke the cigarette, there is a regulatory warning given on the packet of the cigarette itself that smoking cigarette is injurious to health. Along with a very scary picture also. Something. I don't know what is the latest picture nowadays. But in our school days and college days, we used to see that. Some cancer picture, something like that they'll put. So basically, say despite all the warning and all the scary picture, those who smoke, they continue to smoke. So what is success? To control the senses in the success. If you can control one of your urge, one of your desire, despite, instead of, getting all your desires fulfilled, if you can control one desire, that is considered a great success, right? So here, this has been explained that he became so powerful, so much control, so much power under his control, but still his life is miserable. He's not happy because he still remains the slave of his own senses. He made all the 330 million demigods his slaves, but still he is not the Lord. He is a slave of his own senses. So one should understand that very carefully. You cannot be happy as a slave of your own senses. So that is the experience of Hiranyakashipu has been explained here. And then he started torturing all the demigods, and they were panicking. They were wondering like how to get relief from his tormentation. And then they thought, okay, let us go and approach the Lord Vishnu. Lord only has to help us. We can't do anything. We are not powerful to fight against this demon. So they goes to Lord Vishnu and they start praying to Lord Vishnu. Then, my dear Lord, please help us. We have been used as, as the slaves of this demon. He's using us, he's torturing us, he's abusing us in all possible ways. So they're looking forward that Lord, you should come and deliver us. And then Lord appears, and Lord says that yes, soon I'll appear, but wait for the right time. He said, what do you mean right time? You're already getting tortured. Our life has become miserable. What you're waiting for? What more you can see? We're already miserable. And Lord says that I'll appear when this Hiranyakashipu will start torturing my great devotee who is Nirvairaya Prashantaya Swasutaya Mahatmane Prayaradaya Yada Duryet Nanishye Api Varorjitam. When Hiranyakashipu teaches the great devotee Prahlad, his own son, who is peaceful and sober and who has no enemy, I shall kill Hiranyakashipu immediately, despite the benediction of Brahma. So Lord says, I'm just waiting. I know that he'll start torturing his own son. And this Prahlad is a small boy. He's Nirvairaya. He's such a pure-hearted soul. He doesn't have any enemy. And then he's Prashantaya. He's very peaceful. And then Sasutaya Mahatmane. He's a great devotee, Mahatma. And he's his own son. When he'll start torturing him, that is when I'll come and I'll finish. Because I cannot tolerate any little, problem to my devotee. And that is what is the promise of Krishna. Right? Krishna says, my devotee never perishes. Come and I'll protect my devotee. Personally, I'll come. So the another lesson that we learn here is that Krishna doesn't act as per our timeline. Like sometimes we go through some challenging situations in our life, and then we might wonder, Krishna, you should do something immediately, quickly. It is getting beyond my control, beyond my tolerance. It is becoming intolerable. Please do, my dear Lord, I'll chant extra rounds. I'll go to temple. I'll read Bhagavad Gita, all the chapter, 18 chapters I'll recite. And I'll do some offering, something, some donation. And you become so restless that why Krishna is not doing anything. But Krishna has his own timeline. Krishna knows when is the right time to come and protect. Sometimes actually the Lord, Bhagavan, he allows the devotees to go through some situations, some challenges. So those challenges, it result in what? You might be wondering, the Lord is not coming. I'm a great devotee. I've been chanting. I've been praying. Lord is not coming. Why Krishna is allowing those challenges? But through those challenges, we learn to become more and more dependent on the Lord. You remember the Lord more because this is the tendency, this is the human nature. Dukh mein simran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi. When there is problem, when there is dukh, then everybody immediately we are prone to remember the Lord. We pray to the Lord very fervently, very intensely, right? And when everything is fine, we say, God, you also enjoy, let us also enjoy. No connection. This is the nature. So sometimes when Lord allows someone to go through all those challenging situations, then Lord sanctions because Lord has his own plan. He has his own timeline, right? So here, these demigods, they're praying to the Lord, please come. He says, wait, I'll come as per my own plan. So we can't make Krishna's plan. Krishna makes the plan. But there's sometime you will see some great devotees, they have the power to change Krishna's plan. That we'll discuss that how one can change Krishna's plan also. Krishna is beyond everybody's plan. Krishna is Swarat. He is completely transcendental autocrat. He will decide what he want to do when he want to do. Nobody can dictate him that, okay, now you come. No. But there are some devotees, the great devotees, they can dictate even Krishna also. So that is what is the Bhagavatam is teaching us, that Lord is the supreme controller, but then devotees have the power to control that supreme controller. How they can control? They can control not by their power, but they can control the Lord by their devotion. And we know that how Yashodamai was controlling Krishna. Right, when after the Mahabharata, then Krishna was from from Kurukshetra, he was going back to Dwarika. And then all these Pandavas, Kunti Maharani, they started feeling separation. Krishna, why you are leaving? Should stay back for some more days. So Krishna's plan was to go immediately because he has to take care of the Dwarka and the kingdom there. But these devotees changed Krishna's plan, changed Krishna's itinerary. So no, you should stay back. And then Krishna stayed back. So devotees have the power to change Krishna's plan, but not ordinary devotee. So Krishna, doesn't act as per our timeline, but Krishna comes as and whenever he decides, right? So another lesson that we should learn is we are talking about controlling the senses. Many times we keep hearing when we read Bhagavad Gita, we attend these kind of sessions, control the senses, sense gratification is bad. 100 times you might have heard all of those things. The problem is it doesn't enter, it doesn't register into our consciousness. So many times we hear sense gratification is bad. We should control the senses, give up all those habits and desires. It doesn't get. So there is a knowing and there is a doing. There is a knowing doing gap. We know so many things, but when it comes to doing, there is a big gap. Right? So many times we read Bhagavad Gita. So many times the lectures we hear that we should control. It doesn't get registered because there is a very, very deep desire inside our heart to enjoy the senses. And when somebody comes and says, no, no sense desire, give up sense gratification, logically you may agree, but still it is not easy to give up those desires because they're very deep rooted in our heart. Then what is the way out? It is not entering. Connection is there. How to make those things to realize? So the process is Krishna consciousness. How Krishna consciousness? Prashadam is the easiest connection. Krishna consciousness, how it enters in our life? It enters. Krishna first, they say that Krishna first enter into your belly and then into your heart. It's easy that Prashadam everybody likes. You give nice prasadam, people say, oh, this I can eat every time, right? And I can eat even overeat also. But all other things you are telling, no this, no that, this is too much. But prasadam eating is easy. So I say, okay, no problem. Take Krishna prasadam. Start eating prasadam. So Krishna prasadam is not different from Krishna. So Krishna is entering into you, into your heart through your belly. Krishna is going, and Krishna will start purifying all your desires. That you have many, many desires, right? And then Krishna will start purifying. So Krishna Katha, Krishna Nam, Krishna Prasad. So these are all powerful means. When they enter into our heart, then our desires start transforming. That is very, very difficult. Superficially, sometimes, somebody does not practice the process. You're just like a jnani, you keep hearing all this big, big philosophy. You don't chant, you don't eat Krishna Prasadam, you don't hear Krishna Katha, you don't do any Krishna Seva, and you will listen big, big lectures. Rest of your life, you keep listening big, big lectures, become a big jnani. No transformation will come in life. And that is why you see a lot of people outside, they listen on YouTube, just play some lecture, keep listening, listen this speaker, that speaker, some big famous speaker, something, something. But their life remains as it is. No transformation. Because the real process is not taking place. Real process is this. Krishna Nam, Krishna Katha, Krishna Prasad. Krishna Katha should happen. One should read the books. If we don't read these books, which is given by a pure devotee like bona fide devotee like Srila Prabhupada, Krishna Katha has to enter. It will transform our consciousness. It will transform our desires. So what is success? Success is not to fulfill all your desires, but to transform your desires from sense gratification to Krishna's gratification. We all have the desire that I want to enjoy, I want to enjoy, I want to enjoy. When their desires start transforming into, instead of I want to enjoy, I want to serve Krishna. And that is what is my enjoyment. When I do seva to Krishna, when I serve Krishna, that is my enjoyment. Krishna's enjoyment is my enjoyment. When that transformation happens, that is considered the success. But that transformation happens through this Krishna Nam, Krishna Katha, Krishna Prasad, Krishna Seva. Otherwise, it will not happen. Theoretically, you keep listening all this, it will not take place. So we had to read the books. We had to chant the holy name every day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Systematically, every day, committedly, one should chant this Mahamantra. Krishna will enter through your ears. Offer the food, whatever you cook, simple food, offer to Krishna. Eat Krishna Prasadam. Come to temple, eat Krishna Prasadam. Every Saturday evening when we do these sessions, we serve nice Prasadam to everyone. Right? Maybe in the class, people might be, sometimes may get bored that this proposal is getting too long, when it will get over. But Prasadam, happily they can eat. Nobody gets bored eating Prasadam. The wonderful Prasadam gets. So that is how we should read the books, right? And the potency in the books, when you read those words, you allow those words to enter into your consciousness, start transforming your desires from sense gratification to Krishna's gratification. And that is the whole idea of doing all this exercise. People says we go to temple, we do this puja, we do that puja. Ask the question, why you're doing all that? If we feel good. Feel good is a byproduct. Purpose is not feel good. Purpose is transformation. Whether you feel good or no feel good, transformation should happen. Sometimes you may not feel good also, right? You take the vow. Every day I'll chant Hare Krishna mantra. Now sometimes, you are a little lazy, complacent. You say, oh, no, today I'm not feeling like chanting, but I've taken the vow. Let me chant. You are pushing against the wave. You are going against your own mind. So you say, no, the chanting is too much and I'm not feeling good. It's okay. Purpose is not feel good. Purpose is serving Krishna, chanting Krishna's name, hearing about Krishna. That will bring the real purification, the real transformation. Right? There's a nice story actually. There was this person in the army. He became devotee in Krishna consciousness. And then naturally what happens? When somebody becomes a devotee, the natural tendency is they want to share this knowledge with others. So they try to give books, distribute books. We also do this book distribution activities in our temple, in all the temples. So this officer in the army actually, he gave one book to his boss in the army, and he says, "Please take the book." And he was pushing him, and he thought, "Okay, anyway, it's one book only. Let me take, just to keep him happy." He took the book. He thought, okay, now I'm relieved. At least he'll stop bothering me now. He has been asking, take book, take book. I took the book. I'll be peaceful now. Now new problem began. Devotees doesn't leave just by giving book. Then they start following up. Are you reading the book? Sometimes people take the book, Bhagavad Gita as it is, and then they take the book and they keep as it is. They never open the book. Say as it is. The idea is read it as it is. But sometimes they misunderstand. Then somebody has to go and remind them, follow up with them. Please open the book and start reading. It is not to keep as it is. So he was following and he says, are you reading? Are you reading? Are you reading? And he was getting a little bothered. He says, what is this? It's too much. He's following up with me. So let me just, see what is this book is all about. And then he started opening. He said, oh, this book is like quite formidable. Probably will take my whole life to read this, such a thick book, Bhagavad Gita. Now let me just do some shortcut. So let me read all the translation. And then quickly he just read all the translation of 18 chapters. He said, now next time when he'll ask, I'll tell, okay, I read. So this person he asked, did you read the book? Say, yeah, I read the Bhagavad Gita. And he says, oh, really? You read the Bhagavad Gita so quick? Say, yeah, it was very nice. I read the Bhagavad Gita. So this person was very happy that finally you read. So this person is sharing later. This person who got the book, he slept in the night. And then the night, in his dream, he saw Prabhupada in the dream. And then Prabhupada came in the dream. He's like completely unknown person. And he saw, because he read the book, he saw the picture of Prabhupada, author, and all of that. And that author came in the book, in his dream. And then Prabhupada is saying, it is okay to read the purports also. And then this person, he came to this, who gave the book. He says, your movement is too much. You guys are like too much. I've never seen anyone, even the author is changing in the dreams. He's asking me to read the purports also. I read the translations. So the point is, when you start reading the books, then transformation begins. And you'll get the inspiration in so many ways. You just touch the book, start reading. Because sometimes you're too hesitant to even touch the book. We don't even touch. You think like you touching means some commitment. And then we stay away. You take the book, start reading the 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day. And you see that how Krishna will start intervening in your life. How the inspiration will come. You'll start liking. Something will trigger, something will click. You say, oh, this is wonderful. This is nice. I want to read more. I want to understand more. Have some questions. Let me go and ask the questions. And a lot of interest comes. So that is when the whole transformation begins. Right? And that is the purpose. So in the beginning, we said that this knowledge is not meant for information. It is meant for transformation. So transformation means that we always keep reminding again and again, A, B, C, D. Remember this A, B, C, D? A is association of devotees. Come in the association like this, where you'll get to hear about this knowledge. Outside world, nobody talks about all those things. They'll be talking all worldly things. Come in the association of devotees. And then B means book reading. You either read the book, or if you don't read the book, we'll read for you. That is what we are doing here. Sitting and reading from the book, Bhagavatam, and we are narrating. So that is the power of association. Book reading happens, and then see chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So every day when we start chanting the name of the God, and day is night, offer the food and eat prasad. And then you'll see the real transformation will happen in no time. And all of us, we can experience. It is not second-hand experience. It will be a first-hand experience. You do it for a few days, and you will see that how your consciousness start changing. Okay, so taking forward our discussion, we had to close in just maybe 2-3 minutes. So basically, what is happening here is Prahlad Maharaj is a great devotee. His wonderful qualities been explained, and then another quality of this Prahlad Maharaj is he's completely absorbed in Krishna. Nyasta Kridanako Balo Jadavattan Manastaya Krishna Graha Grahitatma Na Veda Jagadidrasha. So from the very beginning of his childhood, Prahlad Maharaj was uninterested in childish playthings. Indeed, he gave them up altogether and remained silent and dull, being fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Since his mind was always affected by Krishna consciousness, he could not understand how the world goes on being fully absorbed in the activities of sense gratification. So that is his consciousness. He is Krishna Graha Grihitatma. Sometimes people say, no, that some Graha Drashti is going on. Shani ki Drashti, some Drashti, different planets, influences. What is the Graha which is influencing Prahlad Maharaj? Krishna Graha. He is influenced by Krishna. He cannot think anything but Krishna. And he's wondering when he look around the people, he says, how these people cannot think of Krishna? Because for him, he cannot forget about Krishna. So he's wondering, he cannot understand that how people forget about Krishna. So that was his situation, that was his consciousness. He is completely absorbed and he is completely disinterested in all external affairs. So that was Prahlad Maharaj's situation. And this Prahlad Maharaj was completely absorbed, thinking of Krishna. But now, Yudhishthir Maharaj was quite intrigued when he heard that Prahlad Maharaj was attempted to kill by his father. So then he was intrigued. So he's such a wonderful boy, innocent boy, 5-year-old, wonderful qualities. So what happened that this father became so inimical that he wanted to kill his own son? What was the reason? He started asking. And that reason we have to discuss in the next class. For that, stay tuned. Come in the next class and join us. And we'll continue our discussion from there on, little in detail. I want to make it like shortcut. I could have finished the whole story today also, but I want to read some important verses from the Bhagavatam, and we'll understand what is Hiranyakashipu's problem, why he wanted to kill his own son. And then, interestingly, we'll figure out through all this discussion, we might be thinking that, oh, Hiranyakashipu was there in Satyuga, like hundreds and thousands of years ago, very powerful demon, killed by Narasimha Dev. But then, when we read, as we go through these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll understand that Hiranyakashipu is still alive. He's not killed. He's sitting inside us. And we have to find him out. That we'll do in next 2 sessions. And also, not only just finding him out, but we have to understand how to kill that Hiranyakashipu. And that is the whole idea of this discussion. So for now, let us just quickly chant one round of Hare Krishna mantra. Anybody has any quick question in the meantime? Those are joining online. Yes.
And they were very, very devoted to the Lord. So why would even the Lord allow them to be so demonic? Right? Why
Okay, so the question is Jain, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, Jain, Vijaya, are great devotees of the Lord. And why Lord allowed them to become such a demonic person and became so inimical to the Lord? Right? And so for that, we have to read Bhagavatam. Anyway, we did not discuss here. It comes in a different section. So basically, Lord had a different kind of desires. So one of the desire of the Lord is sometime, like different rasas. Rasas means different exchanges of emotions. So sometimes you feel very loving towards someone. Sometimes you feel like very fatherly or motherly towards someone. Sometimes you feel like fighting with someone. That rasa is called Virya Ras. So like Kshatriyas especially, the Kshatriyas, they look forward to find an opportunity to fight with someone because their blood is like that. They cannot be peaceful. They want to do something, chivalrous activities. So that desire is there in the Lord also. Lord wants to fight someone. He wants to enjoy. He wants to experience that rasa of fighting with someone. Now, who can fight with the Lord? Nobody can fight with the Lord. Nobody is equal or more than the Lord. So then Lord has to empower someone to enjoy, to experience that rasa of fighting. Then he chooses his own devotee, Jai and Vijay. So then whole episode of Jai Vijay is falling down by the curse of 4 Kumaras. That everything happened by the will of Krishna's will. It happened. So he allows, and then they take this position as a demon, and that is the seva. The seva also we need to understand in detail that how somebody can do the seva. So sometimes we do the seva. What we do, we take the flower and offer to the Lord. Pushparpanam. That is seva. Bhishma Deva is also a great devotee. What he was offering? He's not offering the flowers. He was shooting the arrows on Krishna in the Kurukshetra. And he's a great devotee, pure devotee. He's one of the Mahajana, right? So his seva is offering the arrows, shooting the arrows. People like us, our seva will be little food, some fruits, some flower. But Bhishma Deva is also doing the seva by shooting the arrows. Because the Lord had a different relationship with different devotees. So with the Bhishma Deva, Lord's relation, the emotion is that of the Veer Ras. So Bhishma Deva is in Veer Ras with the Lord. Like Yashoda Mai, she is in the Vasalya Ras. Yashoda Mai doesn't do Aarti to Krishna. Singing Om Jai Jagdish Hare. She doesn't do that. But what Yashoda Mai is doing, she's always thinking, oh, Krishna should be fed well. I had to, feed him the food, the milk. No, otherwise he'll die. Small boy. She's not thinking he's God. Because the rasa is different. The mood is different. She want to serve Krishna as a baby. So that is Vasalya Ras. Bhishmadev is in Veera Ras. Similarly, all these Jaya Vijay is also they're in Veera Ras by the will of the Supreme Lord himself. Because he wanted someone to be in the Veera Ras. Any other question, those who are online?
At ABCD, what was the D? D, Guruji? A association, book, chanting, and prasad, right?
I think the fourth D is diet.
That.
We eat. So we don't eat anything just like that, anything and everything, but we eat only Krishna Prasadam, sattvic food, which is offered to Krishna, and that we honor it. So that is
And all this become form of ABCD finally becomes bhakti, right? If we do ABCD, then we are in bhakti.
yes, you're reading the scriptures, you're chanting Krishna's name, you're offering the food and taking prasadam. That is what is the bhakti yoga is all about. Okay, there's another question here. How to control desires? How to know what is good desire and what is bad desire? Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll answer your second question first. What is good desire and what is bad desire? And that is the topic of the discussion today, what we are saying, Uti, the auspicious desires and inauspicious desires. In simple words, any desire which is favorable for your Krishna consciousness, any desire which helps you to connect and get you closer to Krishna is a good desire. Or any desire which takes you away from Krishna is considered inauspicious desires. Mentally speaking, it might be wonderful that you become a rich person, you become a powerful person, you become a very famous person, and then you forget Krishna, or you get away and away from Krishna. Then it's a bad deal. On the contrary, you will see sometimes some saintly people, they are like poverty stricken. Mentally speaking, they have nothing. But their real wealth is they carry Krishna in the heart and they want to increase that absorption of Krishna more and more. That is the right desire. That is a good desire. Okay, and then your first question is how to control desires. It is very difficult to control the desires. As I already answered, then when we get into the process of this Krishna consciousness by chanting, by eating Krishna Prasadam, by hearing about Krishna, and what happens by all of this process, we start developing some different kind of desires. And the desires is, along with a lot of your materialistic desires, you start to develop little desires for Krishna also. See, it won't happen just suddenly you give up all the desires. It won't happen. It's a process. But what happens is you start developing parallelly some desires. Okay, I want to chant one mala daily. I want to attend some Gita live sessions daily, every week. I want to go to temple. I want to read the books. I want to eat prasadam. I want to do some seva to Krishna. So you see that how parallelly some more desires are forming, developing. And to the extent or to the in what proportion you develop this Krishna conscious desire, to that proportions your materialistic desires will be subsided. So it's the law of substitution. So it cannot be completely finished, but you focus on how you can increase more and more Krishna conscious desires. And when you have those desires, then automatically you will find that there's no room for materialistic desires. That will be subsided. There's no space for them. So that is the way to control the desires. Okay. Any other last question before we start chanting? So sometimes people don't have many Krishna conscious desires. Then we try to infuse those desires. You can have the borrowed desires. You may not feel like every day I want to chant, but then somebody will be keep telling you, please chant, please read daily, attend some calls, listen some Krishna Katha. So it may not be your desire, but after a while you see that, okay, I want to do that. Borrowed desires. So borrowed desires comes from that right association. When you are in the association of devotees, they'll be giving you some desires. So okay, chant, read, come to temple, and attend some calls, daily Bhagavad Gita calls, daily reading calls, do some seva, attend some festivals. And you say, okay, so many times they're asking, let me do this thing. Some desire comes. That will increase more and more. So that is the way to control over all these desires. Okay. So now let us chant. Let us desire to chant not only on Saturday evenings, but every day. And not only just one round, but as many rounds as possible. So take these desires from us and try to practice it. So let us chant now together. Mala is given to everyone. Those who are coming first time, anybody is new? You are all new to the mala? Okay, it is very simple. Hold on the center beat and then chant after me one mantra. I'll chant. You can see on the screen. And after that, on each beat, we'll be chanting this Hare Krishna. So let me show you that mantra and then we can start chanting. You can read the second one. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We'll all chant together. Each beat we have to chant the full mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,